Morning, morning, or indeed afternoon or evening, whenever you're choosing to do this practice. So welcome, welcome. So it's the first week in December, and I'm very mindful looking at the queues already starting to build up in the supermarkets that this time of year can be a very busy time of year for many of us. And it can be quite overwhelming with lots of things to do and our routines being altered and potential visitors coming to stay. So I thought in the run up to Christmas, we'd do some nice chilled out flows to get us kind of ready for the festive season, feeling all sorted and together. And when we have those moments where we are feeling a little bit overwhelmed or the to-do list seems never ending, we've got a few tools in our toolkit to help us. So today we're going to start in a comfortable seated position. So pop yourself up on a cushion or a block if that helps to lift your hips up and drop your knees down towards the floor. Or if you're desperate to lie down this morning, feel free. Just resting the hands on the knees or maybe somewhere in the lap, wherever feels comfortable for your shoulders. Try not to overthink it, just let the shoulders release. And allowing your chin to drop down towards your chin, opening up in the back of the neck, closing the eyes very gently. If you don't want to close your eyes, just bringing the gaze to the floor in front of you. And I read this lovely poem that I thought we could use as a starting point for our practice today. So as you set yourself into stillness, allowing the shoulders to drop away from the ears, just maybe these words I'm going to read to you might resonate coming days, coming weeks, coming back to them whenever you need a moment to yourself. And there is a breath between what was and what will be, who we were and who we will be, what we've done and what we will do. Sometimes it's quick and rapid, and sometimes slow and ragged, and sometimes it flows as smooth as honey. And while we can't change what was or predict what will be, we will always have this breath in between. We will always have what is. So politely putting the rest of the day, the to-do list to one side for the next hour. Just forgetting what happened on the way to class this morning or what happened during the week. And using that breath to help us really stay focused on the present moment. And you feel the mind is pulling you forwards into all of those things you have to achieve. Just coming back to that steady flow of breath, that inhale, lifting the chest, opening up through the ribs into the belly. And as you exhale, just feel the shoulders release, letting go of any tension in your face, dropping the weight down into your sit bones so you feel nice and grounded and even across your base there. And knowing that maybe over the coming weeks, whenever we feel a little bit overwhelmed or life is just getting a little bit too fast, that we can simply pause, take stock of our breath, draw us back into that present moment. And let's take a couple more nice deep breaths there. Every inhale, bringing you a little bit more energy, a little bit more length through the spine. And every exhale, an opportunity to release and to let go of something somewhere. Maybe it might be physical tension, it might be an anxious thought, something that's been just mulling over in your mind, just letting that go. So we can start our practice unencumbered. So let's go ahead and just bring your fingertips down just by the side of your hips, dropping your chin down towards your chest even further. Just begin to draw the shoulders down a little bit more actively away from your ears. Rolling the back, little squeeze of the shoulder blades together and start to lift your breastbone towards your chin. So you feel a nice lift of the chest and an opening in the back of the neck. And then from there, as you inhale, let's float the arms up to the sky, lifting the chin, blinking the eyes open. Morning, morning. Exhaling hands to heart, chin to chest. Let's do that twice more. Each inhale, growing a little bit taller, a little bit more length through the spine. And then allowing the chin to drop to your chest, just again opening up some space in the neck. Let's do one more. Inhale. And exhaling, coming all the way down. And again, we'll just bring the fingertips down by the side of you. Do a little pranayama, a little breath-based sequence at the beginning. It's called a caring breath. So we're going to look towards your right hand. I'm going to take that right arm all the way up, following the movement of the hand with the gaze. And then chin drops to opposite shoulder as you bring that right hand across the chest. And then inhale, we come all the way back up. And exhale, coming down, swapping sides, left arm arcs up. Chin dropping down to right shoulder as that hand crosses the chest. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. Let's do one more each way. So slowing things down, moving with breath. Dropping the chin down and then arcing the arm all the way back up and over. Last time with that left arm. Lovely. This time we're going to bring that right arm all the way up. Bringing it across to that left shoulder, pausing, and then crossing left arm on top of right arm. You can always hold on to your elbows if shoulders feel so uncomfortable today. So as you inhale, we're going to lift the elbows, opening up through the chest, and exhale to round the back, dropping chin to chest. Inhale, opening up some space as you raise those elbows, and then rounding down as you drop them down towards your navel. Let's do one more. Keeping the arms crossed, but just letting go of the shoulders. We'll circle the arms in front of the face, bringing the hands all the way back behind you, coming onto your fingertips so you can lift the chest, maybe lift the chin up, take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, push off the hands and bring the arms in front of you. Take a little fold over those legs. So maybe the hands stay quite close towards you. Maybe you can fold a little further forwards. Just dropping the weight back in your sit bones so you're not lifting your bum off the floor there. Breathing into the back and the sides of the body. And then as you walk the hands back, we'll simply change the cross of the legs. So whatever way you have them crossed. It'll feel a bit strange now, no doubt. Left arm comes up, big breath in. Over to the opposite shoulder as you breathe out. And this time, right arm crosses over left arm. Again, you can hold the forearms. And then inhale, we lift and lengthen. And exhale, drop the elbows and round the back. Lovely, twice more. So a little variation of our cat-cow today. Stretching the front body. And then opening up some space in the back body. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Lovely, ready for that big circle of the arms in front of the face. Bringing the hands all the way down behind you. Again, looping the shoulders away from the ears as you open up through the chest. So let's take a nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, push off those hands and come into that forward fold. Again, pulling the weight back into your hips as you stretch out through the side body. And then walking the hands back towards you, let's sweep the arms up to the sky. And then we'll bring the right hand down, left arm comes over the top. Let's find a lovely side bend. Inhale through center. And exhaling over to the other side. Again, not losing that firm foundation, so we're nice and solid through our lower body and feeling that lovely buoyancy through the upper body. Let's do one more over to the left. We're going to come all the way over to the right side and pause. Then bringing the left hand over the top of the head, coming back to center and bringing the head all the way over to the left. Nice stretch in the neck. Try not to drop your chin forwards, but rather pressing the head back. And you can walk your right hand away from you, or you can even lift the palm off the floor, and so say you want to push your hand down into a flat surface there to intensify that stretch in the neck. And then everything stays the same. You just slide the hand around the back of the head and then push the head gently forwards and down. So you're just feeling a different stretch now. Back of the neck, to the shoulder. Slowly, slowly release. And then we'll take right arm all the way up, coming over the top into that side stretch. And other side, hand comes over the top of the head, bringing that head over to the right this time. Oh, one side might feel different to the other. You can creep those left fingertips away. Or again, it's as though you're pushing your palm down into a flat surface. Hand just hovers off the floor there. Oh, that's a good old stretch, eh? A whole lot of tension in our upper body. So nice to stretch it out as you bring the hand behind the head, gently pressing the head forwards and down. That's it, then coming all the way back up, bringing both knees in towards you, giving yourself a nice hug in, and then extending the legs out in front of you. Maybe popping a generous bend in the knees. If the hamstrings feel a little tight today, we're going to sweep the arms up to the sky, take a breath in. And as you exhale, take a fold over the legs. We're going to move with the breath, so walking the hands back up. Big breath in to lift the chest. And exhale to fold back down. Lovely. One more time. So walking those hands up. This next time, we're going to hold in that forward fold. So you might want to bring your hands underneath the back of the legs, bending the knees generously if that feels a little tight this morning or whenever you're practicing. That's it. And then this time, as you roll your way back up, bring that right knee up and in towards your chest. You can interlace the hands in the front or behind the knee, whatever feels good. Lifting the chest as you inhale, a little arch of the back. And then as you exhale, lean back and round the spine. So again, a version of our cat-cow. So inhale, pulling forwards and up. And exhaling, rounding back and down. Lovely. Twice more, so that left leg never leaves the floor. Rounding back so the arms straighten a little bit as you drop the weight back. Let's do that one more time. And then coming all the way up, bringing the hands behind you. Palms down to the floor this time, fingertips pointing forwards or out to the side. Again, we'll press into the hands, lift the chest. Option to push into that right foot, lift the hips. Chin stays up towards the sky, gazing up rather than back behind you. Little squeeze at the bottom as you point those left toes. And then lowering the chin, we'll come all the way back down. And this time sliding that heel a little closer in towards you so you can hug in with left elbow or holding on with your hand. Ready for that twist. Big circle with the right arm all the way up and back. And as you inhale, find a little bit more length up and out through the crown of the head. And as you exhale without losing that length, just see if you can find a little bit more rotation in the spine there. Turning towards that bent knee. Staying up nice and tall. And then coming back to center, letting that right knee drop open, bringing the heel in towards you. You can do this with both legs straight if you prefer. You're going to sweep the arms up as you inhale. And coming down over that left leg as you exhale, you might have the hands on either side of the thigh or the shin, or some of you might be able to cross at the wrists and take hold of the inside and outside edge of that left foot, drawing yourself down over the leg. Breathing into whatever stretch you're feeling in the back of the leg, low back. And then coming all the way back up, right hand comes behind the right hip, sweeping the left arm in front of the face. We've got the option to pick up the hips, drawing that top arm back as you find that little back bend there. And then coming all the way back down, bringing the knees in again, giving them a little hug. And then this time, keeping that left knee hugged in towards you, we're going to extend the right leg. So again, holding in front or behind the knee. As you inhale, we arch the back. And exhale, the arms straighten a little bit as you roll to the back of the pelvis there. And then inhale, sitting forwards and up. And exhale, dropping that weight back. Lovely. Twice more if that feels good this morning. Oh, nice to do a little variation of our usual moves. Keeping us fresh. Helps focus us on the present. Our body can't kind of go into automatic. We'll come all the way back up. Lovely. And then bringing the hands behind you, pressing down into your hands, bringing the chest forwards and up. We've got the option to stay there or pushing into that left foot. We lift the hips up, pointing the toes down towards the floor, gazing up rather than back. Chin stays just tucked in a little bit. And then rolling back down. Bring that left heel a little closer to you, ready for that twist. Right hand or elbow hugs the knee in. So this time it's the left arm that takes that big circle back behind you, sitting you forwards and up, finding that nice length through the spine as you inhale, and finding a little bit more twist as you exhale. Just looking over that back shoulder or just keeping the gaze more neutral if that's better for your neck today. And then back to center, dropping that knee out to the side, bringing the heel in a little closer. Arms lift up as you inhale. You're coming straight over that right leg. So just making sure that you're not dipping the chest to the left or the right as you fold your way down over the leg. That's it. And then rolling back up. Left hand behind the hip. Right arm sweeps in front of the face. And again, we've got the option to push those hips forwards as you bring that top arm back behind you. And then rolling back down. And again, both knees coming in, giving yourself that hug. And then finding your way round onto all fours, hands under shoulders, knees underneath your hips this morning. So spreading those hands nice and wide beneath you, finding that really nice firm base. And trying not to drop the head. So we're gazing just beyond your fingertips there. And pressing down into the tops of the feet and the hands. As you inhale, let's bring the chest forwards. Arching the back and then exhale, rounding like that angry cat. Just closing the eyes here so you can really get into that movement, breath-led, of the undulations up and down the spine this morning. Remember, you can take your hands a little bit wider apart if that feels more comfortable. And then adding on, as you inhale, let's bring the chest forwards. And this time as you exhale, let's drop the hips back to our heels, coming down onto your elbows, forearms in two parallel lines. And then inhale, coming forwards and up, chest come forwards. And exhale, rounding back and down, a little moving cat-cow. Let's do that twice more. So again, just tuning into the rhythm of your breath, maybe moving faster or slower than me. That's absolutely fine. Let's do that one more time. And we're going to meet in that child pose. Just walk the hands a little further away from you, maybe coming up onto your fingertips. Bring the weight back into your hips as you press your fingertips forwards and down. And again, taking a couple of breaths into the back of the body, the sides of the body now. And then letting those palms drop to the floor, moving your hips to the right. We'll take the hands over to the left side of your mat. We're going to keep them shoulder width apart today. Drawing back through that right hip. I'll keep the hands where they are. We'll come back up onto all fours, little asymmetric cat-cow, arching the back as you inhale. And exhaling, drawing that right hip back towards your right heel. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, pulling the chest forwards and up. And exhale, coming all the way back and down. Let's do that one more time. And exhale, lovely. Coming back to center and we'll swap sides. So shifting the hips over to the left a little ways. We'll bring the hands over to the right. Just pause there for a moment. Drawing back into that left hip this time. And again, keeping the hands where they are as you inhale, we'll come forwards and up. Exhale, pulling that left hip back. Lovely, twice more. Little arch in the back and then a rounding through the spine. Let's do that one more time. So inhaling, pulling forwards and up. And exhaling, coming all the way back and down. Walking those hands forwards. Coming back onto all fours. Only this time we're going to tuck our toes under. So with the toes tucked, pressing into your hands, keeping your gaze forwards. Just going to hover those knees off the floor. So we don't lift the bottom or the hips up. We're keeping that nice long spine, gazing forwards. And then from there, let's straighten the legs, coming up into your downward dog. Start a little pedal out through the feet, bending one knee and then the other, maybe bumping the hips a little bit side to side as you find that nice stretch in the back of the legs. You know, come in and out of those two movements. So as we inhale, we're going to come down with those knees just hovering. And then as you exhale, push the hips up and back, downward dog. Do that twice more. So inhale, dropping those knees, and exhale, pushing up and back, downward dog. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Lovely. This time, let's come all the way back down onto all fours, flattening the toes and coming back into that child pose. And maybe you want to stay here this morning, just tuning in with your breath, and we'll start to flow back up onto all fours as you inhale. And this time coming forwards and down as you exhale, hugging those elbows in. Healing back up, breath in. And bottom to heels. Do that twice more, that slow floor vinyasa. I mean, if you don't want to do a plank pose this morning, you can always stick with this little variation. coming all the way back. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, coming forwards. And exhale, coming all the way down. Lovely, coming all the way up. And this time, bottom to heels, but we'll tuck the toes under into that half dog. Just pushing into the balls of the feet, maybe having a little rock of the hips from side to side as we just massage into the toes. Then keeping the toes tucked, we'll come onto all fours. Hover those knees, pushing into the hands, and then pushing up, downward facing dog. From your downward dog, let's bend both knees generously, looking forwards between your hands. And as you inhale, step or help right foot forwards, and we'll lower that back. Sweeping the arms up, take an inhale, and take a twist. Left arm in front, right arm behind, so you're turning towards your knee. Inhaling up. And the other way, so right arm in front, left arm behind. So you can look over that back arm if you wish. You're going to do that twice more. Inhale. Exhale, twisting to the right, really reaching those arms out in opposite directions. Inhaling up. And then finally over to the left. Coming up through the center, and maybe you keep the arms apart, or you can interlace your hands, free up your point fingers. Upper arms hug your ears as you lift your chest, and maybe take a little back bend, putting those arms back. And then swimming the hands down, picking up that back knee, we'll meet in a downward facing dog. Dropping down onto all fours as you inhale, and as you exhale, bottom to heels, taking that child pose. Option to take that little flow, inhale to come forwards, exhale coming all the way down, hugging those elbows in and then peeling back up, and then pushing back. Lovely. Twice more if that feels nice. That little rolling flow. Inhaling up and exhaling all the way. Last one. So this time as you come up onto all fours, let's tuck the toes, bottom to heels into that half dog. And from there, walking the hands back towards the knees. And then lifting up into that standing kneeling, sweeping the arms up. You can go ahead and flatten the toes, you can keep them tucked under, whatever you want. And then swimming the hands behind you, let's interlace the hands. Draw the knuckles down, pushing the hips gently forwards as you open up through the chest this morning. Knuckles drawing down. And then lowering the chin, keeping those toes tucked. We'll just pad back onto all fours. Pressing into the hands. Again, firming up through the belly as you just hover the knees. Try not to hold the breath in. Just feeling that center begin to work. And then we'll find our downward facing dog. Hips high. Take a couple of nice landing breaths there. Maybe a nice softness in the knees as you push those hips up and back. And then we'll bend those knees even more generously. And as you inhale, step or help left foot forwards this time, dropping that back knee. Sweeping the arms up as you inhale. This time, right arm in front, left arm behind. So you're turning towards that bend. Inhaling up. And taking that twist in the opposite direction. Arms out. One in front, one behind. Inhale. Split those arms as you twist to the left. And then inhaling up. And last time over to the right. Both arms lift up. Again, you can keep the arms apart if the shoulders are tight, or interlacing the hands, point fingers reaching high, and then lifting the chest up, maybe taking that little arc back, drawing the arms back, keep that chest lifted, and then swimming the hands down. Picking up that back knee, we'll meet in a downward facing dog. As you inhale, drop down onto all fours, and exhale, bottom to heels. Lovely. Last time with our little floor flow. Inhaling up. And exhale to come all the way down. Lovely. Inhale. And exhale, pushing back. Twice more. So moving with that breath awareness. Getting that lovely rounding of the spine as you come up onto all fours. And then releasing all the way back down. Let's do that one more time. So inhale, you come all the way up. And then coming all the way down, toes tuck under, coming up onto all fours, take an inhale. And this time we'll come straight up into our downward dog. And from your downward dog, start to walk your feet towards your hands, coming to the top of your mat into a forward fold. We'll bend the knees. And again, we can cradle the elbows so the upper arms, just frame your head there as you take that little sway from side to side. Just let the body move gently. And then releasing those elbows. Start to roll yourself up. Let those arms dangle really heavily in front of you. Calming up slowly. Head comes up last. Take a little shoulder roll at the top. Let me just adjust the camera a little bit. So roll at the top of our mat. Finding that space behind you. It's a little bit damp and cold this morning, so let's see if we can brighten up the day with a few rounds of our half sun salutes. So sweeping the arms up, let's take an inhale and folding down as you exhale. Finding your halfway lift, so pulling the chest forwards, that breath in to lift and the breath out to release over the legs. Let's rise on up, breathing in, reaching skywards and hands to heart. Lovely, twice more. And exhale, coming all the way down. Maybe bring your hands against your legs to propel the chest forwards in your flat back, or keep the fingertips on the floor. Let's rise on up. Inhale. And exhaling, hands to heart. Lovely. One more time, raising those arms. And then coming all the way down over the legs. Lifting up halfway, breath in. And then folding back down as you breathe out. Let's rise on up. Inhale. And hands to heart. Lovely. We're going to add on this next time. So sweeping the arms up. Let's take an inhale. And as you exhale, coming all the way down over the legs. Lifting up halfway, breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to take 2 big steps back into your downward facing dog. From your downward dog, bend your right knee. Just pause for a moment, pressing your ribs back towards that underneath thigh as you stretch your left heel down towards the floor. Pushing those hands forwards and down. And then right leg to sky, bending the knee as you drop your heel towards your bottom, opening that knee up towards the ceiling. If you want a little challenge today, you can try coming onto the fingertops of that right hand. Pulling that knee back behind you. And then flattening both hands to the floor, extending that right leg behind you as you breathe in. As you breathe out, step that right leg forwards, top of the mat. We're going to hop that left foot out to the left, setting up for a high lunge this time. So as we raise the arms, finding your balance, as you take the arms up, shoulders above the hips, let's take an inhale. And as you exhale, left arm in front, right arm behind, we're going to take that little twist. Yeah, inhaling, reaching up. Twisting in the opposite direction. Try to keep the body from moving backwards and forwards. Sweeping those arms up. Let's do one more each way. So we're trying not to lean forwards, which might just knock us off our balance, staying in the present moment with that breath. And then reaching the arms up again. You can interlace the hands, draw the heart back, maybe take a little look up towards the sky if you're feeling brave, or take an inhale. And as you exhale, come all the way back down, and we'll meet in a downward facing dog. Option now to roll forwards to plank as you inhale. And as you exhale, coming down onto your belly, maybe you use your knees, maybe not this morning. Flattening the toes, let's find that lovely cobra. Pulling the chest forwards and up as you inhale. And coming all the way back down. Lovely, pushing back all fours. Toes tuck, hips lift, downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath in into your downward dog. As you breathe out, maybe you can send a little bit more weight back into your heels. Let's take another nice deep breath here. And a nice deep exhale. And then bringing those feet, those knees together, bending the knees as you look forwards. And as you inhale, walk, step, or hop to the top of the mat. And fold over the legs. Let's rise on up. And hands coming to heart. Lovely. We're going to add on. Finishing off with that left side first. Inhaling up. And exhaling, taking that fold. So lifting up halfway. This time left leg, slide or step it back. I'm going to walk my right foot towards my right hand, just making sure my feet are hip width before coming up into that high lunge. There's a little softness in that back knee as you reach the arms up. Lovely. Let's take an inhale. And as you exhale, let's take a little twist over to the right. Inhale through center. And then opposite direction. Beautiful. Inhaling up. Oh, I think we're on the same leg. Let's come all the way back up. Bringing the hands down, we'll step back into our downward dog. I got overexcited there, didn't I? And so we've done a few more on the other side, not to worry. I was getting excited. From our downward dog, bend your left knee. How could I forget our little dog peeing on a lamppost? I'm getting ahead of myself, you see. I'm not in the present moment. Bend your left knee, stretching that right heel down. And then we'll take left leg up behind you, bending the knee, dropping the heel to your bottom, which I remembered, otherwise we'd have been unbalanced. Then maybe come up onto the fingertips of that left hand. Thought it felt a bit strange. Pulling that top knee back. Then taking that left leg behind you, let's take an inhale and exhale, step it forward. That feels better now. Now we hop the feet apart. Here we go. Rising up, back on track into that high lunge. Lovely. You see, I am human. Let's take an inhale. Right arm in front, left arm behind this time. Here we go. Inhaling up. And exhaling, let's split the arms the opposite way. One more each way. Again, we're trying to keep the body nice and upright. It's the thing with Zoom, you're not there to shout at me and say, Helen, we've done that leg. You're reaching the arms. And last time with left arm in front. Lovely, coming up into that lunge. Again, maybe interlacing the hands. Maybe if you're feeling brave, you lift your gaze, wiggle wobble. And then bringing the hands down, we'll meet in a downward dog or roll forwards. Inhale, roll forwards to plank. And exhale, coming all the way down. Beautiful, lifting the chest into your cobra. And stretching forwards and down, coming back down onto the floor before you push up onto all fours. And lifting those hips into your downward dog. Let's take 2 nice deep breaths here. Every inhale, an opportunity to refuel. And as you exhale, maybe a little stretch of those heels down towards the floor. Lovely. And then from there, bringing those feet, those knees together, bending the knees generously, look forwards. And as you inhale, walk, step or hop to the top of the mat. And exhale to fold. Let's rise on up. And hands to hearts. Beautiful. You turn around the opposite way so I can mirror you from here on in. Swing those arms up to the sky. This time as you bring the hands behind you, just like we did at the beginning, we're going to interlace the hands. Just draw the knuckles down, feeling that nice stretch across the chest. An option just to come into a forward fold, or as you bend the knees and forward fold, we lift the arms up and over. If that doesn't work for your shoulders today, feel free just to let those arms hang in front of you. Chin tucked in, getting that lovely stretch across the shoulder blades. And then releasing the hands. Just sweep those arms all the way back up towards the sky as you inhale. This time as you exhale, sinking the hips back as you reach the arms forwards, coming into your chair pose. So arms are just level with the chest. Draw those arms back in their sockets so we're not pulling them forwards and overstretching the upper back. Checking the knees are on top of the ankles as you push those hips back. You're going to rise up to stand and maybe just lift your right heel. Or see if you can pick up the knee, find that little balance. Then come back down into your chair pose. So other side, as you inhale, we lift heel or knee on that left side. And then exhale, come back down into your chair pose. Let's do one more each way. So if you're feeling wibbly wobbly today, know that you can just lift the heel off the floor. And last time on that left side. Coming all the way down. This time we're going to lift that right knee and pause. And then bringing that left hand over to the right knee. Circle that right hand behind you. And maybe you can take a look over that back arm. You can always keep the toes on the floor and the hand to the hip if that feels a little bit more stable for you today. Lovely. Releasing the foot to the floor, reach the arms up, take an inhale. And exhale, let's come back down into our chair pose. Other side, so inhaling, lifting right, left heel or knee. And this time right hand comes across. And circle that left arm back behind you. Again, maybe looking over that back arm. Bringing both feet underneath you. Inhale, reaching up. And as you exhale, find that chair pose. Dropping the weight down into the heels. Chest is lifted. Keeping both feet on the floor. We're going to rise on up to stand this time. And at the top, see if you can pick up the heels, coming into that little toe balance. And then lower the heels as you circle the arms all the way back down. Bend the knees, sweep the arms out and up. Let's take an inhale. And exhale to fold. Lifting up halfway, breath in. As you breathe out, I'm going to send that right leg all the way back behind you, setting up for that high lunge. Sweeping the arms up, let's take an inhale. As you exhale, right arm in front, left arm behind. We're going to twist towards that front knee. And then inhale up. This time as you exhale, left arm in front, dropping that back heel in as you find your warrior two. So my front foot's pointing forwards, pressing out through the outside edge of that back foot. Lovely. Take a nice breath in. As you breathe out, can you sink a little bit deeper into that warrior? Lovely. As you straighten both legs, hands come to the heart. Let's breathe in as we contract. And exhale back into a warrior. Let's expand. So inhale, hands to heart, legs straighten. And then exhale, opening up into that warrior. Lovely. Twice more, breath in. And breathing out. Lovely. One more time. Breathing out into your warrior. This time as you inhale, let's take that left arm all the way up and back into your reverse warrior. And exhale, forearm to thigh, top arm up or up and over. Lovely. One more like that. Inhale, let's reverse. Left arm up. And exhale, right arm circles all the way up and over. Lovely. Reaching both arms up as you straighten the legs and turn all 10 toes forward. If you're very wide in your stance, just shorten the stance there a little. Take a nice deep breath in as you reach up. And then hinging down over the legs as you breathe out. Maybe leaving the hands on your shins, your thighs, or bringing the hands underneath you. Then pushing the weight back into the heels, come up onto your fingertips as you lift the chest. Take a nice breath in. And then breathing out, find that fold. Allow yourself to sink down over the legs. Just rolling the weight to the outside edge of your foot so we're not straining the knee joint there. And then from that wide-legged forward fold, walking the hands forwards. So bringing your shoulders just on top of your wrists there. And take that right arm out to the side, reaching for the sky. You can let the hips move a little bit there. And then releasing both hands to the floor. Left arm circles up as you inhale, maybe looking up. And then coming back down. Lovely. Let's do one more each way. Letting the pelvis just move a little bit. One more time on that left side. And coming all the way down. Lovely. Looking towards your left foot. You're going to turn that left foot to the top of the mat. A little pivot on the back foot. Option downward dog or left leg to sky, coming into your three-legged dog. As you inhale, roll forwards to plank, lowering that foot. And as you exhale, come down onto your belly. Let those arms help you down. Find your cobra or maybe a little upward facing dog. We meet in downward dog. Taking a moment in that downward dog or even having a little moment of rest in child pose, the choice is yours. And as you look between your hands, bringing those knees together, bending the knees, and then inhaling, walk, step, hop, skip, jump to the top of the mat, and fold over the legs. Exhale. Let's rise on up. And then hands coming down to heart. Beautiful. Sweeping the arms up, other side. Hands swim behind you. You're going to interlace the hands. A little softness in the knees as you tug those knuckles down. Maybe you can swap the interlace over. As we always did in the same way, don't we? So you've got the other little finger on top. And then you take the forward fold. Maybe the arms lift up and over. Or you can just come into a forward fold this morning. Letting the head hang. And then releasing those arms. Let's sweep the arms to the sky, rising up. Inhale. Ready for that chair pose as you exhale. So the arms are just level with the shoulders there. Chest nice and high. Checking again, those knees aren't knocking in. Lovely. Let's rise on up, picking up that right knee or heel as you inhale. And exhale, coming all the way back down into your chair. Lovely. Other side. Are we ready for that hold? So let's come up, lifting up that right knee and taking that circle with the arms, left hand to the knee, right arm reaching behind you. Maybe again, taking the gaze over that back arm. Coming all the way back up as you inhale And exhale, coming down into your chair pose. Let's do that on the other side. Last time, left knee lifts. Find that little moment of stillness, and then right hand to knee, left arm circles back, opening up through the chest. Lovely. Inhale through center. And exhale, finding that chair pose. Little challenge now. In that chair pose, shift the weight into the balls of the feet. Lift the heels off the floor. And with the heels lifted, can you push up to stand? Pressing into the base of the big toe as you sweep the arms up, 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 up. And then dropping the heels as you bring the hands down. That was a challenge, wasn't it? Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, let's come down into that forward fold. Inhale to lift. And exhale, left leg this time. Slide or step it back. And again, setting up for that high lunge, so feet on train tracks. As you rise up into that high lunge. Lovely. Let's take an inhale. And exhale, left arm in front, right arm behind. You're turning towards that front knee. And then sweeping the arms up. Thing up into your warrior two. So right toes are pointing forwards. And the left foot is pointing to the long edge of your mat. That's it. Lovely. Just maybe walking that front foot to the middle of your mat there, checking your knee is on top of your ankle. And then we'll take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, can you sink a little deeper? And ready for that movement with breath. So as you inhale, hands to heart, we straighten the legs. And then exhale, flowing back into your warrior. Lovely. Inhaling. We contract. And then we expand into our warrior. Lovely. Twice more. Inhale. And exhale. Lovely. Last time, sinking a little deeper every time into that warrior. Lovely. This time as you inhale, right arm arcs up and back. And exhale, hand on forearm to thigh, and that top arm comes all the way over the top of the head. Lovely. Let's do that one more time. So that reverse warrior as we inhale, and then that side angle as you exhale. Nice. Coming up, turning all 10 toes to the long edge of your mat. Arms lift up. Again, I'm going to slightly shorten my stance so I feel a bit more stable there. And then come down into that forward fold, pushing the hips back, weight in the heels. Coming up onto your fingertips as you inhale, we lift up halfway. And find a little bit more depth as you fold. And then keeping the left hand onto your face, let's take that right arm up. This time we're going to bring the right hand, just slot it onto your low back. You might keep the hand on the low back, or some of you might be able to snuggle it into the crease of that left thigh there, just the top of the hip. Just drawing that shoulder back, leaning the head back a little bit as you find that nice stretch. Just keep the hand on your low back if you can't quite reach the waist. And then bringing the hands underneath you, let's swap sides. Left arm lifts up, keep the chest pulling forwards as you bring the back of the hand or the flat of the hand onto your low back. Or maybe you can reach around and just snuggle it into the top of the opposite waist there, opening up through the shoulder, drawing the head back ever so slightly. And then bringing both hands underneath you, looking towards that right foot. You're going to frame the foot with both hands. A little pivot on that back foot, downward dog, or right leg to sky into that three-legged dog. Inhale, coming forwards to plank, lowering the foot. And exhale to lower. Find your cobra or maybe an upward dog. And we'll all meet in a downward dog. Taking one or two nice steadying breaths there. Lovely. And then from that downward facing dog, walking your feet a little bit wider apart, dropping down onto all fours. From there, maybe big toes point together. Easing your way back into well-deserved child pose. You can always take the arms out to the side or elbows to the side, making a little pillow for your head. Again, just catching your breath. With the elbows nice and wide, you can just soften the shoulders. Maybe you crying outside and being very cruel and just keeping him outside so then he'll jump all over the place. I'll let him in a minute so you can say hello. When you're ready, bringing those hands forwards, finding your way back onto all fours, bringing those knees back underneath your hips. You're going to slide that right leg all the way back behind you. Squaring off your hips to the floor as we lift that right leg up. Try not to dip in the middle, so keep firm through the center as you inhale. Exhale, knee to chest, nose to knee, round the back. Leg goes back, chest forwards as you inhale. And exhale to give it a squeeze. Twice more. Again, feel that lovely length through the body as you inhale. Squeezing everything to center. Lovely, last time. This next time, you're going to take the leg all the way back behind you and just tap the toes down. So we've got that right leg is straight. You're going to flick that left shin behind you. Lovely. Taking that right arm up to the sky, coming up into your lovely side plank. You're going to drop down onto that left hip. Just bring the right hand across to your left shoulder, so you're sinking down. And then inhale, you rise up back into that plank, arm lifts up and over. And then exhale, you sink down, down, down onto that left hip. Hand to shoulder, lovely, twice more. Inhale, pushing the hips forwards. And then coming all the way down. Last one, pushing those hips up. And then coming all the way down. This time we'll push the hips up, bringing the hands underneath you, bringing that left shin back behind you. And sliding both knees underneath you. Give that left hand a little shake there. And then we'll try that on the other side. So left leg, slide it back. Hips stay pointing towards the floor as you lift the leg. Let's take an inhale. Exhale, squeezing it. Inhale, extend so the chest comes forwards as you push the leg back. And then squeezing everything in. Lovely, twice more. Last time. Then we'll take that left leg all the way back behind you. The straight leg, we just tap the toes down. Take a little pivot on your right shin. So you're on the inside edge of that back foot. Left arm lifts up and then comes over the top of the head. So we're going to drop down onto that right hip and bring the left hand across to the shoulder like we did at the beginning. And then inhaling up. And exhaling, coming all the way down. Lovely, twice more. Version of our mermaid pose. Lovely, last time. And let's take the arm all the way up one last time, circling back onto the mat. Coming back onto all fours, this time bringing both knees together, swinging the feet round to one side so you can drop the hips and extend the legs out in front of you. I see Neelu's there, I can hear him. Here he is, he's waiting to say hello. He's waiting patiently to be let in. Let's sweep the arms up. Take an inhale. Oh, look, he's doing a lovely stretch to show off. And come down over the legs. And again, if those hamstrings, low back feel tight today, knowing that you can bend the knees, I might live to regret letting him in. Easing your way down over the legs. He'll be asleep all morning, and the minute we start doing yoga, he wants to come and stretch with us. Let's come all the way back up now, slowing things down as you hug that right knee up and in towards the chest, just like we did at the beginning. This time you can cross the foot over and even hook the left heel round behind you. So you're sitting between your heels, but make sure you can find that balance across your sit bones if you're doing that. Left hand or elbow locks the knee in. Let's take a big circle with the right arm, bringing the hand behind you or just bringing the hand onto your low back. And turning the chest towards the right, maybe closing the eyes here as you just settle in with your breath. Lovely, and then coming back to center, keep the legs as they are. You just turn the body round in the opposite way. And slowly coming back to center, swapping sides so as you hug that left knee in, knowing that you can keep the foot on the inside, cross it to the outside, or bring that right heel round so you're sitting between your heels. So this time it's the right hand or elbow that locks the knee in place, sitting up nice and tall. And just circling the left arm up and back. Hand can come behind you or just rest on the low back, depending on how that feels Sometimes if you've got the hand behind you, resting on the floor, the temptation is we're leaning into it. So if you bring the hand onto the low back, it kind of forces us to use our back muscles a little bit more. And coming back to center, and just move the body round in the opposite way. Back to center. Give those legs a little unraveling, a little shake. And bringing both knees in towards you, soles of the feet together. And hands slide down towards the top of your shins, your ankles. And just pulling up with those arms. You feel the chest lifted as you give a little tug on the arms there. And then keeping the spine nice and long, just begin to hinge forwards with the hips. You're leading with your chest and your chin. You might be able to bring your elbows onto the inside of the knees. But keep that length through the spine as you find that nice openness in the hips there. Then a little cheeky challenge from here. With your first two fingers, you're going to hook your big toes. And start to lean back and see if you can just bring the heels up off the floor. And then bringing those shins up, elbows come to the outside of the knees. Woo! Now maybe you stay there holding onto your big toes, elbows just hugging in against your knees, or maybe you can reach the arms out with the palms up towards the sky. And if you're feeling strong today, extending those legs as you find your boat pose. Nothing says Christmas like a boat pose. And then bringing the feet down, giving yourself a hug in, a well-deserved hug. And then coming down to lie on your back. Sorry, Milu, you might just have to move out of the way now, my lovely. Coming down to lie on your back, bringing both knees with you. I'm sorry, Milu, am I interrupting you? And maybe you have a little rock or roll of the hips from side to side. And bringing both hands onto that right knee, slide that left leg out in front of you. As you hug the knee in, just soften into the upper back, soften the shoulders. So you get a nice stretch out through the lower back there. And then holding on around the back of that right leg, let's take it up towards the ceiling into a hamstring stretch. Remember, you can always rebend that left leg if you wish. Bringing the toes down towards your face. And then we'll swap sides, so sliding left leg away as you hug your right knee up and in. Giving it a nice squeeze, stretching out through that right leg. And again, knowing you can bend the opposite leg as you take that left leg up to the sky into your hamstring stretch, toes pulling down towards your face. One more time. And then bringing that left knee into the chest and following with the right leg. So you've got both knees hugged up and in. With one hand on each knee, let's take the knees wide. Maybe lifting your head and shoulders so you can slide your hands once more towards the tops of your ankles or shins. And as you lower your head, lower the shoulders, you're bringing your heels towards your bottom and pressing those knees out to the side. And you can stay there this morning, or taking the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. You can keep holding onto your shins, your ankles, or you can reach up and hold the outside or inside of your feet as you find a happy baby pose. Would you like happy baby, Lily? Maybe have a little rock from side to side. I knew it was a mistake letting you in, you monstrous beast. Seeing if you can drop the weight all the way down into the back of the pelvis there. And then releasing, giving those knees a hug in towards the chest. Maybe this time, bringing the head and shoulders up off the floor as you bring your nose towards your knees. And then lower the head, lower the shoulders. And bring both feet down to the floor. I'm going to come up to seated so I can talk to you. As you find a comfy position for Shavasana now. Maybe keeping both knees bent. Taking the feet nice and wide. Allowing the inner knees to rest against each other, or stretching both legs out in front of you, whatever feels good this morning. As you take that nice deep breath in, feeling the body expand, and then as you exhale, can you let go of something somewhere? Maybe a little pocket of tension you've noticed throughout the class, a little tightness somewhere in the body that you can breathe into. Or maybe again, something you've been worried about, conversation you've had or are yet to have, something that's happened or something that you're kind of predicting might take place in the coming days or weeks. Reminding ourselves that we can't change the past, we can't predict the future, all we have is the here and now. So as you settle into Shavasana, me remind you of those lovely words that might just resonate. There is a breath between what was and what will be, who we were and who we will be, and what we've done and what we will do. Sometimes it's quick, rapid, and sometimes slow and ragged. And sometimes it flows as smooth as honey. And while we can't change what was or predict what will be, we will always have this breath in between. We will always have what is. So allowing yourself that moment with your breath, allowing it to flow smoothly, ironing out any rough or ragged edges between each breath. That you can stay there for as long as you need. You're ready to face the day, hopefully feeling a little bit more connected with your breath, knowing that you've got the tools there to use the breath to help us remain in that present moment. Start to bring a little bit of movement into your fingers, your toes, maybe a little roll of the head from side to side. And from there, hugging those knees up towards your chest. And just taking that rock from side to side, and then letting it roll you to lie on one side. It really doesn't matter which side. Coming all the way back up to seated when you're ready. Coming to join me and Nilu. Let's bring the hands to the heart, allowing the chin to drop down towards the chest, the shoulders to drop away from the ears. And let's close today, taking a nice united breath in together. As you breathe out, soften the shoulders, relax the face. Namaste. Have a lovely, peaceful day. And I hope to see some of you next week for another chance to chill out before Christmas. Take care, guys. See you soon. Bye.